All righty. You are looking live. It's sold out MetLife Stadium right today. The 16-0 and playoff bound New York Giants are taking on the 0-16 San Francisco 49ers. And why are the San Francisco 49ers 0-16? Because they suck. They ain't won a Super Bowl, baby, since after the 94 season. Haven't won a Super Bowl in 30 years. San Francisco, you suck. Welcome to the Gridiron. Anybody out there at all that's going to spend a little bit of time with me here to say I greatly appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. For anybody's going to spend any time watching the replays, once again, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. It means the world to me. Thank you. I'm going to try to go about 30 minutes here tonight, shoot my mouth off for about 30 minutes. Anybody got anything to say, please feel free to fire away, throw in the chat box. Usually try to check on the chat box like every 5 or 10 minutes or so. So as soon as I see something in there, I try to respond to it as fast as I can. So please feel free and fire away. But plus also, seriously, instead of me just rambling on for half an hour, 45 minutes, or whatever it might wind up being, it's just nice to talk to another Giant fan. So please feel free once again. Hey, what's up, Penei Sewell? Hey, there we go. All right, we got somebody in the house. So please feel free. Fire away with the comments. Before I get started, if anybody wants to help support my channel out, it would mean the absolute world to me. In the description box below, the very top link in the description box takes you to my membership page. I got 3 different membership levels. The first one's called the Saquon. Second one's called the Lawrence Taylor. And the third membership level I got's called the Gridiron. Each one's got their own little perks to them. So if you want to help support my channel out, it would mean so much to me. And I thank you in advance. Thank you. If you are subscribed to my channel, once again, thank you. I can use all the support I can get, guys. But if not, please go down below, hit the subscribe button, hit that bell icon. That way next time I go live or if I put a video out, you'll be notified. And it's free of charge. What do you got to lose, right? But if you are subscribed to my channel, thank you. Maybe give this video a thumbs up or share it. That'd be freaking awesome. And then finally, also just a little ways down in the description box, there's 2 additional links. The top one is a Facebook link, which I'll go over in just a second. The one underneath it, I'm an old-time fart, right? I can't stand changing one of them get off my lawn kind of old-time farts, right? It's a Twitter link, right? Follow me on Twitter. I'll follow you back. That's an absolute promise. As I'm always going to call it Twitter, whatever letter of the alphabet Elon Musk wants to call it. That's on you, bro. I'm not calling it that. Right? Okay. I'm calling it Twitter. I said I try to put Giants-related stuff in the group every day. Right? I said, if you follow me, I will follow you back. And then finally, the link on top of it, okay, it takes you to my Facebook group. It's called the New York Giants, the Gridiron. It's my Facebook group. It's very original, I know, because it's same name as my YouTube channel, right? The New York Giants, the Gridiron. We have over 8,100 members in the group. It's doing simply marvelous, might I add. Basically, if I'm alive and breathing, and if I have internet access, I'm putting stuff in this group darn near 365. And not only do I put stuff in this group, but the members post stuff in this group as well, too. So between me and the members, there's a ton of New York Giants information going in this group every day. It's called the New York Giants, the Gridiron. It's my Facebook group. Please join it. You won't be dissatisfied. I promise. And all that stuff said and done and out of the way with. Well, we're getting down there. We're getting down there as of today, anyway, right? Oh, Penei Sewell, what we got? Got to change the saying. I can't. They said I can add like another one, but I can't. They won't allow me to change. I can't go in there and just change the name of it. I can get rid of the Saquon. The problem is any members I have that are under the Saquon, they'll all be gone. So they would have to re-sign back up again. And I don't even know if some of, if I'm getting rid of them, I don't even know if they're, the people even know that they're not, my members anymore. So I was trying to go in there and I was trying to see, can I find a way I just want to change the name of the Saquon one. Well, it won't let me do it. It says I can get rid of it, but then and any members I got underneath it, they'll all be gone too. I can add other ones. I can add a couple other, I think I can add, I got 3 different membership levels. I think that I'm allowed to add up to 5, I think. But as I said, so I wanted to, as soon as he went to the Eagles, I'm like, man, I'm changing the name of this one. Yeah, but they won't let me do it. So I'm kind of stuck. So maybe somewhere along the line, I'll add a couple. I think I can add 2 more in there. Maybe I can get rid of the Saquon. I said, but the thing is, I said, anybody who's under my Saquon, the members, they'll all be gone. So it is what it is. But we're getting down there. We got Steve. Well, actually, I think it's Steve Smith days right now. But we got about a little over an hour. We're going to get down to like Phil Sim days, right? So we're getting down there. We're getting down to about a week and a. I mean, man, it's right, really exciting. But speaking of the draft, apparently Brian Baldinger and Tiki Barber, they just say no to JJ McCarthy. They're not there. Apparently, they're not big fans of JJ. I can't say I've seen some of his film. I've seen him play a couple games. But they're not big fans of him. Hold on, we got to share my screen here. All right, here we go. Brian Baldinger. Wait. That here somewhere. It's up here. Oh, there you go. This is what Brian Baldinger has to say. I would not go after J.J. McCarthy. He might become a great pro. He's just a very difficult guy to evaluate because of where he comes from. He's the only quarterback I can remember in recent history where nobody says anything negative about him. They just say he's 27-1. Jim Harbaugh says he's the best quarterback in the draft. Well, of course he's going to say that. Yeah, but nobody says anything about the offense he played in. Not throw the ball in the second half against. I guess he didn't throw the ball in the second half against Penn State. I guess they don't bring any of that up. They're just like, yep, he was a 5-star recruit in high school. He took Michigan to a national championship, back-to-back playoff seasons. Like he's the golden child. Nobody ever says anything bad about him, and I can't figure out what there is to evaluate with him. They ask very little of him to go out, but go out and win a national championship. No, well, the one thing is that I would say just maybe guy like in his defense, okay, is at least when he played Alabama, okay, that wasn't easy. That wasn't a gimme. The championship game might have been more of a gimme, okay, but when they beat Alabama, that was you got to give him some credit there, okay. It's kind of. I certainly don't ever want to get him mixed up with Tom Brady at all or anything like that. So don't get me wrong there. The thing was with Tom Brady is that when he was with Michigan, even Bill Belichick, when they drafted him, he's like, he's on. It's like, we'll take a flyer at the guy because he said anytime you put the guy in the game, I'm talking about Tom Brady back when he was with Michigan. He said all he did was win, and it's or bring his team back from behind and win. Which is kind of some things that they're saying about McCarthy with me. All they did was win. That's all they did, But the thing is obviously, once again, we're talking 2 different guys. McCarthy may not even make it at all or whatever. But the thing is that with at least with Brady, he when he went into the game, a lot of times, sometimes they were behind. He had to throw the ball, right? Unlike with with Michigan nowadays, with Harbaugh, he likes to run the ball. So, McCarthy, I don't want to say he was a game manager or anything, but according to some of the draft gurus, he does throw the ball very well. He throws the ball over the field very well. One of the problems he has is he needs a little more touch in certain areas, right? But he wasn't asked to throw the ball a ton at Michigan. They ran the ball a lot. So, some of it, he has throws to all portions of the field. He just doesn't have as many as some of these other guys do, right? But once again, the offense he was in, he wasn't asked to do a ton. So some people, I don't know, some people are buying the J.J. McCarthy hype. Other people are not buying it. And my next guest on the show here, he's not buying it either. Good old Tiki Barber. Tiki suggests J.J. McCarthy's rising draft stock is a smokescreen, which that's possible. He hopes the Giants pass. He says, I don't want him. McCarthy helped lift the Michigan Wolverines to a national championship. Yeah. An injury cut Daniel Jones' fifth season short. The 2019 first-round draft pick ultimately appeared in 6 games last season. Jones inked a 4-year contract extension, but the injury and his overall disappointing performances in past seasons have put his future with the Giants in question. The quarterback prospects in the upcoming NFL draft that dominate NFL offseason discussions. While former USC star Caleb Williams is largely expected to be the first player off the board, J.J. McCarthy's stock appears to continue to rise. Dude. McCarthy, obviously guided the Michigan Wolverines to the national championship in January, but he was widely projected as the 4th best quarterback prospect in this year's highly anticipated draft. The Giants finished 6-11, hold the 6th overall pick. Some believe the Giants will use their draft pick on a quarterback, and McCarthy could be available at number 6. However, Giants legend Tiki Barber has zero interest in watching McCarthy taking snaps at MetLife Stadium with a Giants uniform on. Tiki says, not happening. I'm just saying, not happening, Barber said. I don't want him. Not happening. I guess Tiki doesn't want Tiki doesn't want the Giants to take McCarthy. Let me see if I can. Okay, so Tiki don't want him. Could also be with the one thing is like with, you can also kind of think about maybe like with Harbaugh, right? Inflating him, right? Because maybe he might have other people in front of him because he's picking 5, right? So if Williams goes, May goes, Daniel goes, and then he keeps inflating McCarthy. Everybody's like, oh my God, this guy's so good. Oh my God. So when pick 4 rolls around and McCarthy's still on the board, everybody's jumping up to 4. Let's take McCarthy, right? So then who's sitting there at number 5? The Chargers, baby. And they got the rest of the draft board all to themselves. Who do we want? Do we want Marvin Harrison? Do we want a Dunzier? Do we want Malik Neighbors? Maybe Alt? Let's get a tackle, right? Maybe we can get our own running game going. Maybe a tackle can protect Herbert's blind side. What do we want, right? Imagine if Jay falls to us at number 6. It's possible. Well, the thing is, I said, I brought this up before. I mean, it's a possibility. I mean, just crazy as it might sound, because I mean, just think, right? And this will be like another one of the stories I got going on here in a little bit, right? Just think, right? Caleb Williams, number 1. We can always just pencil that in, right? I don't know. I have no idea. No, I honestly have no idea. Let's say May 2, Neighbors 3. Or if you want Neighbors 2, May 3. However you want to do it, right? So number 4 rolls around. And apparently one of my stories, okay, that, I didn't write it. Somebody else wrote it, right? So I'm just going to regurgitate the story that I'm reading, right? The Vikings like multiple quarterbacks. The Giants just seem to like one. But anyway, number 4 rolls around. The Vikings got 2 first-round picks, and they can almost just take those 2 first-round picks and might be able to couple them up and jump up to spot 4. They might have to maybe give something else, or maybe the Cardinals might have to give something else back or whatever. But they should have darn near. They don't have a second or third round pick. So if they owe a little bit extra to the Cardinals, they're going to have to start taking from next year's draft class because they don't have a second or third round pick. I think they traded those away to the Texans to jump up to get the Texans first round pick. But anyway, regardless, the Vikings with the 2 first rounders and maybe a pick from next year, whatever, they could possibly jump up to 4. I'm just saying that this is something that could happen. Or the Giants move up. I mean, who knows? But say the Vikings jump up to 4. They're not jumping up to 4 to take a punter. They're jumping up to 4 to take the 4th quarterback, right? So now number 5 rolls around, right? Well, what does Harbaugh like to do? Hand that ball off. Give me that ball, right? Right? Or I'm saying Herbert. What happened to Herbert last year? He got injured, right? I think he got injured, right? So I mean, so wouldn't it be like he's standing there looking in the pocket? Wouldn't it be somebody protecting this blind side of him, right? Mr. Alt. That's where Mr. Alt steps in, right? So Herbert's like looking down the field. Doesn't have to worry about over here because we just drafted Alt, right? So then here we go, baby. Pick 6, right? We got the Dunzier there, Neighbors there, and Marvin Harrison Jr. there. Stranger things could happen. So to your point, that's a possibility, right? That's a possibility. But apparently nobody. Well, some of these guys don't want him at all. Barber argued that McCarthy's skill set would not translate to the NFL level and suggested that his former coach, Jim Harbaugh, was driving the majority of the positive attention he was receiving. As we heard him say, J.J. McCarthy thing, I'm tired of hearing it. Stop with the J.J. McCarthy thing, Barber said. Now, the one thing, is that, to McCarthy's credit, right, was that when he was like at the podium and he was asked questions, this is one of the many things, that, it helps to knock it out of the park with, but he his demeanor, the way he answered the questions and all that was apparently he did well for himself. But once again, standing at the podium, answering questions, right, is one thing. Standing in a pocket while you have 3 or 4 guys ready to rip your head off and you got to try to, figure out who to throw the ball to and all that. That's something else, right? But so not everybody's high on the McCarthy thing. So it could be a huge smoke screen. And you know what could wind up just happening, right? Right? Williams could go 1 and then say, pick your choice, whatever you want. May could go 2. Daniels can go 3, right? And then pick 4 rolls around, and then they can take Marvin Harrison Jr., right? And then pick 5 rolls around, and then Alt comes. Pick 6 rolls around, we take either Dunzier or Neighbors, right? And then pick 7, and then all of a sudden McCarthy might make it all the way to number 11 without anybody trading up or anything, like trading up or trading back or whatever like that. So stranger things happen, right? And let's not also forget, because this is all the stuff that we're hearing, right? The guys are writing stories. You got morons like me on YouTube talking about this stuff. And nobody's in the war room. I'm not in the war room. These guys writing these articles in the war rooms, they have no idea what the coaches and all these stuff are, what they're talking about and everything. They have no idea what Brian Dable thinks of Jaden Daniels. They have no idea what Brian Dable thinks of J.J. McCarthy or May. They have no idea. They think they can maybe come up with some ideas of what he might be thinking, but they have no idea. And also, all this talking and story typing and writing and all that stuff. It doesn't matter what we think, what we say. It's all what they think at the end of the day. So once again, what we're going to find out, it's going to be very, very interesting. I like it like this because there's a lot of excitement to it. Instead of the Giants, picking, whatever, and so and so is taking this guy, and then this guy's going, and that guy. Add some intrigue to it, so you have no idea what's going to go on. Pretty much the only thing you do know is pretty much that the Caleb Williams is going number 1, right? Who's going number 2? You don't really know. Who's going number 3? You don't really know. Is somebody going to jump up to number 4? You don't really know, right? who's going to be there for the Giants. Even at number 6, you don't really know. You can kind of guess. You do know pretty much like a 99.9% chance, right, that one of those 3 wide receivers is going to be there at number 6 for the Giants. It'd be pretty, man, it would be almost darn near almost impossible for the Giants not to get one of those top wide receivers to be available for them at pick 6. Right, so that's one of the things you can almost guarantee yourself on. Now we got this one here. The Giant high-ranking official, and I'm not sure who that is, reveals the New York Giants secret that could make fans mad during the 2024 NFL Draft. And once again, and this has to do with taking a quarterback, right? What we got? After finished 30th in scoring a season ago, it's clear the New York Giants need to make changes to their offense. With Coach Brian Daboll and offensive coordinator Mike Kafka returning, it appears those upgrades will have to involve improving the roster. Yeah, you think so? I mean, we can't go through the season once again averaging 15 points a game. Just can't do that. We've already seen General Manager Joe Schoen take the approach in free agency, adding multiple offensive linemen to help fix a unit that allowed more sacks than any other team in the NFL last season, by far. But what about quarterback or wide receiver? A year after cheering Daniel Jones to victory as the Giants won their first playoff game since 2011, now some fans want to give up on New York's franchise quarterback because he got hurt last season, a common theme in the 26-year-old's career. If you've been closely following the Giants draft rumors, you've heard plenty about the team's evaluation process, which has involved meeting with multiple quarterback prospects. This would seem to indicate that the Giants are seriously contemplating replacing Jones in the near future. Yet, according to ESPN's Matt Miller, that may not be the case, which might make some of the Giant fans a little ticked off. According to this article here, Giants may not be targeting a first-round quarterback, basically, is what this article is talking about here. A high-ranking official with the team, whoever that might be, told me their draft plans are unlikely to include a first-round passer. I don't know who the high-ranking official is and why they're going out and telling people this, but it is what it is. However, that doesn't rule out a quarterback being a target in round 2, where the team owns pick number 47. Washington's Michael Penix Jr. and Oregon's Bo Nix are expected to be off the board by that point, but a small trade-up on day 2, similar to what the Titans did last year to land Will Levis at pick number 33, is possible. So it makes sense not to target a first-round quarterback for a team that signed their starter to a $160 million extension last season. How about getting him some help at the receiver position, right? Based on Miller's report, the Giants might finally be planning to do just that, add a playmaker weapon that can help their young quarterback thrive. After Saquon Barkley's departure, now the need for an injection of talent on offense has only increased, but the Giants have a plan in place. We'll see if that makes sense in due time. Now, that's the thing is that, you got to figure, my goodness, you not only talking about Saquon Barkley, right? But, Waller, I mean, what if Waller doesn't come back, right? So you look quite possibly, right, is that our biggest overall threat from last season, he's gone. He's gone. Oh, why? Saquon's gone, right? But Waller may not return. So we were hoping that Waller would be our biggest receiving threat last season, and he may not even play this season. So we might have helped, maybe hopefully upgraded the offensive line, but our weapons have gone down. That's it. We added Singletary, who is close to he's not quite Saquon, right? We got to agree on that, but he's close. But let's not forget, I said we lost. Quite possibly, we might want to lose in Waller. And even if Waller does come back, you can probably pretty much assure yourself this is going to be his last season, right? And you can almost, you're not sure what the number is, but you can almost pencil something in. Darren Waller plays this season for the Giants, right? Darren Waller will miss, and there'll be a box there. and you just put a number in. 4 games this season, 5 games, this 6 game, whatever it is. If Darren Waddle comes back, he's almost guaranteed to miss time this season. So the Giants definitely need an influx of some playmakers without question. Without question. The nice thing is, if for some reason, whatever, they do wind up passing on a stud star wide receiver at pick 6, right? That there is other wide receivers in the second round or the third round. The talent is out there, okay? But there will be, if it's not a Dunzier, Harrison Jr., or Malik Neighbors, there is going to be a little bit of a drop off. But without question, the Giants definitely need to add some influx of some talent. Definitely, without question. I mean, you can't go 15 points a game last season. I mean, if this was like 1930, 15 points a game, that might win yourself a championship. 15 points a game, almost 100 years later, that's really pathetic. Now, Micah McFadden, Mr. Neck, right? Named Giants' most underpaid player. Oh, absolutely. Oh, my goodness. The amount that he played, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, he was the only. I know he played because I can see the stats. I remember he played all 17 games his rookie season. I think he was the only rookie to play in all 17 games his rookie season. And he played 16 games last season. So out of possible 34 games, he's played 33 of them. Very impressive, right? I think that the huge neck he had, I think it just like safeguards everything. I think it deters injuries, Dude's got a huge neck. Micah McFadden took a significant leap in his development in 2023, putting up career best numbers alongside veteran Bobby Okereke. So let's not forget who he's standing next to. Okay. Right. I mean, it's like sometimes it's like, I can't remember what year. I can look it up, but there was like the Eagles back. It was like 91, 92 or something like that. All right, let me look it up because this get me. I'll just type in Clyde Simmons had 1 year for the Eagles, had like 20 sacks. Oh, there we go. Then he went to the Cardinals and they paid him big time money. Oh, I'm sorry, my bad, 19 sacks. He had 19 sacks. Okay, so he had 19 sacks, and then he wound up going to the Cardinals. Buddy Ryan wound up becoming the coach of the Cardinals, and he got Clyde Simmons to go there. So he had 13 sacks here. He had 19 sacks there. He even had 15. So, I mean, it's very, very good. I mean, he even had 11 sacks here. Okay, but let's not forget, sometimes you get stuff like that, like with Clyde Simmons, Clyde Simmons was an end, okay? But he was on the line with Reggie White. If you got Reggie White and you just like double team, you single team Reggie White, just don't even bother showing up. Just concede the game. We take a loss and nobody gets hurt. We'll just walk off the field with the loss and we'll regroup and we'll play next. You got to put guys on Reggie White. They also had Jerome Brown until, unfortunately, sadly, Jerome Brown died. It was sad. He was a great freaking player. But, there was greatness around him, which helped allow Clyde Simmons, when you got to put 35 guys blocking like Jerome Brown and Reggie White and all that, that doesn't leave a lot, for the, so that helps other guys play better. So let's not forget with McFadden being up against the Okereke too. Okay. But also sexy Dexies in front of him as well, too. So that did, quite possibly help McFadden with some of his numbers. Okay. At all. But regardless of that, he stayed healthy. He's been in 33 or 34 games and he had over 100 tackles, combined tackles. And what has he got? What was it here? 101, 63 solo, 38 assisted tackles. I mean, he had all kinds of, in this article here, you can read all the stuff he had. I mean, 24-year-old appeared in 16 games, 14 starts, recorded 101 tackles, 12 for a loss, 4 fumble recoveries, 6 quarterback hits, 1 sack, 5 pass defense, and 1 interception. And look at his salary, right? Now, this is what you call, this is, I don't want to say a diamond in the rough or nothing like that, but the 5th round pick, putting up those kind of numbers, not bad. Not bad. Now, he also had a couple bad games in there. There's a couple of games. It might have been, I don't know if it was the 49er game. I think he missed a few tackles here and there and stuff like that. But, so he did have a couple rough games with missing some tackles and all. But all in all, I mean, he's a 5th round pick. He remains on a rookie salary, made just $870,000 with a prorated signing bonus of $88,926 last season. So, yeah, the Giants are getting their money's worth out of him. Let me tell you what. McFadden won't become that much more expensive over the duration of his contract, which is why Brad Gagnon, a Bleacher Report recently named him the Giants' most underpaid player. I can't argue with that. 2022 5th-round pick broke out with 101 tackles as a sophomore and will cost the Giants just $2.3 million over the course of the next 2 seasons. I mean, really impressive. And that's the nature of rookie contract. If a player, especially a mid-round player, becomes a productive starter, the team ultimately has to pay less until an extension comes due. And if he keeps up doing what he's doing, he's going to go from about $870,000 right a year to he's probably going to want, if he keeps doing this, what he's doing, he's going to want at least $10 million a year, right? The guy puts in the work. He's due to make himself a nice raise. He's got to stay healthy though too. But I mean, he's been doing that so far. But that's a tough position you're in. Tough position. McFadden will need at least one more impactful season before those conversations begin. In the meantime, the Giants and general manager Joe Schoen reap the rewards of finding him on day 3 without question. I mean, that's where getting those guys in those later rounds, is huge. But it helps getting those home runs in later rounds because now you got their services for 4 years on the cheap. But then again, let's not forget, after the 4 years are up, they're going to want to get paid. And the thing that stinks is the way the NFL doesn't want you to keep all your players. You can't keep everybody, so it's going to be a tough decision, right? Especially because you got a Carrick for another 3 seasons. And you got, I'll have to wait and see. I was going to say, because if we wind up resigning maybe a Carrick to another extension, and then you got McFadden in there, I don't know if they're going to allocate like $25 million to the 2 inside linebackers. So we'll have to wait and see there. But as of right now, it's what you're certainly reaping the rewards of a 5th round pick. I mean, let's look at Darius Slayton, right? Right? What did that guy? 5th round pick, right? I mean, all he does, Mr. Consistency. One season he didn't have 700 yards receiving, but other than that, 4 out of the 5 seasons, right? He's had at least 700 yards receiving with not a very good offense, not the best of quarterback play, very porous offensive line play, right? Now you can look at a couple things like with Slayton, right? Is sometimes if the Giants have a dog of a wide receiver, that would take attention off of Slayton. Okay, that might open the field up for other guys like that. So the Giants haven't really had that. So the other teams can kind of maybe help clamp down on him maybe a little bit, right? Maybe reducing his numbers. So once again, it's be interesting to see if the Giants go out there and get themselves a dog. Hopefully that opens up the field for other guys like maybe a Wan'Dale Robinson, right? Maybe a Slayton down the side, outside, right? So we'll have to wait and see. But that's why it's huge, hitting on those later round picks. Absolutely huge. I mean, hitting on those later round picks, but then also getting a rookie quarterback on his rookie contract. You're only paying him a couple $1 million a year instead of $50 million a year, right? You can get a nice team around them. Because once his salary, or once his rookie contract's up, and he's going to want to get paid. That's when you start saying bye-bye to some of your good players. I mean, you look at like what the 49ers going to happen to them because you got Brock Purdy, played 2 seasons. He's a 7th round pick, so they only got him for 4 years, right? You can't pick up the 5th-year option on a 7th round pick, right? Can't do that. So They got him for 2 more years. So it's going to be really, because look, they got Kittles as their wide receiver, their tight end, right? They got Ayuk, they got Samuel. They got McCaffrey back there. They got Williams as their left tackle. Look at all the weapons and everything they got on the offense. Why? The only reason why is because they're paying Purdy basically nothing. Now, if they do keep Purdy after his rookie contract's up, and he's going to want $40 million or whatever a year, 40, 45, whatever, they're going to start saying bye-bye to some of those weapons, right? So, but Micah McFadden, fantastic pick. Without question. All right. What else I got here on? Oh, yeah. My bad. I want to go over, now there's a few of these centers here. Now, obviously we're not picking a center pretty much, period, right? Because we just drafted a center. And we're certainly not drafting a center / guard, tackle, or whatever in the first 3 picks. If we do take, I would be rather shocked in the first 3 rounds if we take an offensive lineman, especially how many offensive linemen we just brought in. I'd be rather shocked. But, according to PFF, they got some of these guys labeled as centers, and all of them that they have labeled as centers pretty much played center this past season. Okay. But there are a couple of guys with later round picks, right? They got them as maybe like 4th, 5th, maybe even 6th round picks that have some versatility to them. And if it winds up coming up, right, where Brasillo I'm sure he's looking over the tape and all that, and he sees a couple of these guys or one of these guys or whatever who has got some versatility. And 2 of these guys, I think, if I'm not mistaken, we're gonna go look at them again. I think have played all 5 positions on the offensive line in their college career. That doesn't smell versatility. I don't know what does. But a couple of these guys, especially, they just played center. So if we look here, right, I think Van Pran, right, from Georgia, right. Now, according to PFF, right, he's ranked the 93rd. So according to this, the 93rd rank. So he would be like a late 3rd round pick, quite possibly, right? Okay. Now, once again, the Giant, so, right? They got these 2 guys here, okay, centers. Johnson is the 24th. They got the 24th ranked player in this draft. Giants ain't touching that, right? Then you got the same thing with Frazier, right? The 32nd ranked, right, in this draft. Once again, Giants ain't touching that. So now you get, third. He might fall to the 4th round. Giants have a pick 107 or something like that. So this guy might quite possibly be there for the Giants in the 4th round. The thing is with him, I got to find him here. I got 75,000 tabs open here. Here we go. All right. Now we're talking Cedric Van Pran. All right. Now the thing is here, okay, if we look at Van Pran, right, if the 4th round rolls around, the Giants are looking maybe to get some depth. I'm just saying, I have no idea once again, but they're just looking to get some depth, right? Somebody get a young stud of an offensive lineman with some versatility that Brasillo sees. It's like, hey, let's get this guy. He'll be $870,000 or whatever it's going to be. We can have for 4 seasons. We can develop them, and we can start getting, if Zudu, McKeithen, some of these other guys don't work out, we can get rid of some of those other guys, right, that we have on the roster, and we can start plugging them in with some of these guys. I think maybe Brasillo's like, I think we can work with some of these guys. But if we look here with Van Pran, right, 2023, all he did was play center, okay, for Georgia. 2022, all he did was play center. Center. 2021. Georgia. All he did was play center, right? That's what we're not looking for, right? Right? He played, I guess, his freshman season. He only played 25 snaps, okay? Right? He graded out, okay. Nothing super spectacular, but he graded out okay. But I really don't think the Giants are even going to consider just somebody who specifically has played center in their college career. I'd have a hard time grasping that concept. They're going to take a center in the 4th round when they just drafted a center in the 2nd round. And all this guy can play is pretty much center. Or all he has played is center. So I'd have a hard time believing it. So Van Pran, I don't think so. All right. Whoops. Okay, so let me go with Limmer. Now, Limmer, okay, once again, could quite possibly from Arkansas, he's the 106th. Okay. Now, he quite 4th round, quite could possibly be there. I got to find him. Here he is. Okay. So, Limmer. I guess it's Bo Limmer. I'm just taking a crack at it here. So, let's go here. 2023, Limmer. This season with Arkansas, right? Center. Okay. But go to 2022. Right guard. Graded out of 82.2. When did he grade out this past season? 2023 center. 74.5. Okay. But I mean, Auburn, Florida, Mississippi State, Alabama, Ole Miss, Texas A&M, LSU. So he played some good competition. Okay. So he wasn't a guard, and he graded out very well. Now he's a senior, and he's from as a center. I guess he was a senior, right? So he played 4 years. Yeah, let's say, yeah. Oh yeah, fifth year senior. Yeah, right. So you just throw him in at center. Hey, 74.5. Okay. Hey, well, I'm not putting him in the College Hall of Fame, but that's not bad, right? But that's his past season. I said, but in 2022, he was the right guard. He graded at 82.2. Once again, Kansas, Missouri, Ole Miss, LSU, Auburn, Mississippi State, Alabama, Texas A&M. Good competition, right? 2021. Right guard, okay, 76.8. I think if I'm mistaken, I think he just played these 2 positions. Right guard, yeah. But what this tells you, right? He can play center and he can play guard. So, or at least right guard. Now, I'm sure, obviously, with Priscilla likes flexibility. If you can play right guard, I'm sure he's going to have you try to go in there at left guard. But once again, with this guy, there's some flexibility to him. Now, let's not forget, all right? He graded out of 74. His 2022 was an 82. Then it was a 76. His first season here in 2019 with Arkansas, he only played 30 snaps. It's not much. But, he's got some flexibility to him. So possibly this guy Limmer, maybe, possibly. Okay. But there's a couple other guys out there that are very, very, very impressive. Okay. We got Nugent. I'm not sure if it's Nugent or not. Obviously, he's the 7th ranked center in this in all college football this past season. Okay. So Nugent, obviously from Michigan. So right? I mean, they usually Michigan usually has some very good offensive linemen, right? So let's see here. All right, let's go to Nugent 2023. This whole season he was a center, graded out of 78. Very impressive. Okay, let's go to 2022. Nugent was center, graded out of 80.5. Very impressive. Okay. 2021 center. Okay. I think. Okay, he played in 1 game, 2020 and 2019. What was he? Left guard. So very minimal. I mean, he played tackle and left guard. So very, very minimal. He only played 22 snaps. Actually, it was at Stanford. 2019, 2020. So basically, this past 3 seasons, for the most part, he's been a center. So I would kind of eliminate Nugent from the draft conversation here. I mean, once again, we're looking at like a 5th round pick, maybe even later than that. But once again, he pretty much in college, past 3 seasons, he's only played center. However, a couple of the guys here, okay. Let's go to Hunter here. Yes, it's Nourzad, all right, from Penn State. Now, these guys here, okay? Center, this past season with Penn State, graded out of 74.4. 2022, left guard and right guard, okay, graded at 55.4. Nothing super spectacular, okay, but flexibility. He's played both positions. Then in 2021, what do we got here? Right tackle, left tackle. 3 seasons, all 5 positions. Now, once again, he graded out 72.7. So he seemed like he didn't do too bad at center. Well, it was center, it was past center. 74.4. Now, when he was a guard, now I don't know if he had some injuries to him or not. That I'm not sure because he only played 574 snaps. Maybe there was injury. I don't know. That I don't know. But in 2022, he played both guard positions. Then it was with Cornell in 2021, he played both tackle positions. So the past 3 seasons, I guess it's Nourzad, I'm going to say Hunter Nourzad, center, both guards, both tackle positions. Flexibility, 6'3". I don't know what his arms are or this or what his bench was, vertical. I don't know. Okay, but what I do know, he's 6'3". Not a bad size, right? Especially for the interior, 315 pounds. You can certainly add some more bulk without question there. You might obviously he always likes maybe somebody a little bit taller than that, but still, right? Very serviceable. But I'm saying, but if something along the lines of Priscilla looks at this guy and he's like, Nourzad, right? And he looks at the tape, he's played 5 different positions in college. That could be huge. Somebody the Giants might take a flyer on, as I said. I mean, once again, they got him number 200. I mean, my goodness, he's probably going to be there, quite possibly in the 6th round when the Giants are drafting. They might take a flyer on him. Then we got one more guy here, Tanner Bortolini. This guy here, okay, same thing here. These 2 guys, what do we got here? These 2 guys, Nourzad and Bortolini, okay, and maybe Limmer, possibly Limmer. Okay, Limmer has a little versatility to him, but these 2 guys right here, lots of flexibility to him. Bortolini, bam, there we go. Okay, 2023, he was a center, 65.9, nothing super spectacular. Okay, so we'll go to 2022. Bortolini, right guard, left guard, right. 74.3. Not bad, right? 2021. Right tackle, left guard. So in 2021, he played 3 different positions. He graded out of 87. Not bad. I mean, yeah. So his seconds, I guess he was a sophomore. He graded out of 87. 3 different positions, 87. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. And in 2020, he didn't play a lot of snaps here. What we got? Yeah. In his first season, he played center, right? But he's played multiple positions. He's played guard, he's played tackle, and he's played center. Versatility there. And his grades aren't too bad. Once again, I'm not going to lie here. I broke down his tape. What question? Will you attend any Giant games this year? No, I won't. No, I am. My son and I we're going to go to a yeah. Usually, what it is that every year for my son's birthday. His birthday's in the beginning of September. What we do is me and him we go like on a little road trip. He likes the Cowboys, unfortunately, right? So we pick a Cowboy game. Like last season, the Cowboys went to Miami in right around Christmas. It was a very good game. The Dolphins won on a last-second field goal. Every time we go to a Cowboy game, the game is always close, really close. This season, we're probably we're waiting for the schedule to come out, but we're probably either going to go to Pittsburgh because the Cowboys are playing in Pittsburgh and they're playing, I think, in Cleveland. So instead of flying and spending some money we're going to drive. So to go to Pittsburgh I'm in South Jersey, it's about 5 hours, 5.5, depends on how fast you drive. To go to Cleveland could be 6 or 7 hours. So we're going to drive, right? So we'll save some money so we're not flying. But so what we do is each year we pick a different stadium to go to and we watch the Cowboys game. I go there. I got no skin in the game, right? I sit down there like the game in Miami last week. We went to Hard Rock Cafe Stadium, beautiful stadium. It was a great game, close game. It was exciting, nip and tuck. Either team could have won. I got no skin in the game, so I'm just sitting there and I just enjoy a good game. Well, my son, he likes the Cowboys, so it's like his birthday present and all that. So we watch the Cowboy game. He watches the Cowboys, right? We see every year we go to a different stadium. So I said, so this year we're either going to go to Pittsburgh or Cleveland. So each year we try to pick a different stadium, and that's where I wind up spending the money. So I mean, you wind up spending. I mean, I try to get seats on the 50-yard line. I mean, you could spend $1,000, whatever. Even I spent $1,500 for 2 tickets. I can't remember what year it was. The Cowboys played. It was in a driving rainstorm in New England. So the Cowboys played against Tom Brady. I can't remember what it was. 2019 maybe. It was in a driving rainstorm. Oh, it got soaked. I spent $1,500 for 2 tickets. We were on the 50-yard line, but we were like 10 rows from the top. It was $1,500, right? Thankfully, we drove there, so we didn't spend money on airfare or nothing like that. But, but between like a hotel and sometimes if you got to fly and you got to pay for the tickets, and then, you got to pay for maybe an Uber back and forth to the game. You got to eat, whatever. You spend a couple grand, 2, 3, or whatever, thousands of dollars. So, unfortunately, that doesn't leave much extra money for me to go watching. And plus, I'm in South Jersey here. I don't know really any other Giant fans. So if I'm going to go to a Giant game, I'm pretty much going there by myself. So. I mean, not that the stadium's out. It's only a couple hours from here, from where I'm at, the MetLife Stadium. So I could certainly go and watch a game, but I don't know any Giant fans, But plus, as I said, any money I got, I pretty much wind up spending, me and my son, to watch a football game. So I watch a game every year, but usually I go watch it with him. That way, when I come home, I'm not all stressed out or nothing like that. I'm not all pissed off and stuff. The Giants lost, pulling out the rest of my hair and stuff like that and everything. Well, if I ever do go, I'll certainly say something. That's for sure. I'll certainly make a. I'll certainly announce it. That's for sure. But yeah, I haven't seen a Giant game in a while. But I mean, yeah. So instead of me getting all pissed off and everything or whatever, that's why I go with my son. I enjoy the game, and and I get to spend some time with my son because he doesn't live with us anymore. He's on his own. So I get to spend some time with him. So it's pretty cool. But I said, but if I ever do go, I'll certainly wind up saying something. That's for sure. Absolutely. No question. All right. And then we got some rumors here. Now, the thing is here. Now, this could really benefit the Vikings here. Okay. Apparently, the Vikings are in love with multiple quarterbacks while the Giants are just desperate for one. Once again, rumors. Could be smoke screens. How many rumors, you're going to hear around this time of year and all this stuff. So, but if this is true, this really could benefit the Vikings and not so much the Giants, right? We're under 2 weeks to go, friends. Just under 2 weeks from now, the NFL draft will begin, meaning that we can start dismissing all the rumors that have piled up in recent weeks and actually start discussing real-life selections. Until then, however, the rumors will persist. Let's take a spin around the NFL draft rumor carousel to close out this week. I don't even know what this got to do with anything. Oh, these are the attendees. These are the players that are going to be at the draft. Right. Now, here, we go down here. Vikings are in love with multiple quarterbacks. Talk to any draft analyst about potential trades in the first round, and one team is sure to be mentioned. The Minnesota Vikings say they got 2 first-round picks. There's a reason why, right? With Kirk Cousins now living up in the NFC South with the Falcons, the Vikings have a pretty big need under center. While Minnesota added Sam Darnold in free agency and have 2 other quarterbacks back from last season, Nick Mullins and Jaron Hall, the Vikings are a team frequently mentioned when it comes to quarterbacks and trades in the first round. All right, so it probably comes as no surprise that Minnesota is doing their homework on this crop of passers. Apparently, they like what they have seen. So I don't know how true that is, but according to Andrew Kramer of the Star Tribune, Vikings general manager has been working on this draft class for a long time with an eye towards a potential Cousins departure. During his pre-draft press conference earlier this week, the GM made it clear that there are multiple quarterbacks he feels are worthy of becoming the team's next franchise quarterback. And their love goes beyond the first round. So there are multiple guys that we're in love with, said Minnesota GM, but there's also other guys that we're in love with. If we get them at a certain value. Let's see, is it talking about the Giants here? Okay. Giants are desperate to move up for a quarterback. On his appearance with Rich Eisen, Sycamore talked about another team that is doing their work on quarterbacks, the Giants, as noted by the incredibly well-coiffed Sycamore. The Giants are looking to trade up in the first round. I don't know who's telling this guy this, but who knows? Discussing a world where three quarterbacks open the draft and Arizona on the clock at number 4 with J.J. McCarthy available. Sycamore mentioned two teams that would make the Godfather offer to Arizona. One is Minnesota, which would require the Cardinals to drop down from 11. The other, the Giants. So, I mean, you got one guy here, this guy Sycamore, who thinks if McCarthy's there at number 4, the Giants are going to offer him the next 312 first-round picks that they got to jump up 2 spots to get McCarthy. Then you got Baldinger and you got Tiki Barber. Like, absolutely not. I wouldn't touch McCarthy with a 10-foot pole. So, once again, all speculations. I think they're going to be pretty desperately to go up and get one of these quarterbacks. I don't know about that. I think they're going to give a pretty competitive deal to move to either 4. Well, they're going to talk to the Patriots at 3, but I think they're going to give a pretty competitive deal for 3, 4, or 5 whenever a quarterback is still on the board. So basically, this guy's saying the Giants are going to, no matter what, be desperate to take the 4th best quarterback. I don't know. Sycamore also noted that the Giants can offer a pick in the top 6, something the Vikings can't do, whereas the Vikings cannot. So if Arizona wants to grab a top-flight receiver, they still can with the Giants. See, number 6 keeps them in striking distance, but number 11 will not. Because if the Giants jump up to number 4, probably 4 quarterbacks are gone. So if the Cardinals slip back to number 6, they get themselves a little extra draft capital by trading with the Giants. They move back 2 spots, and they're guaranteed to get a stud wide receiver that Kyler Murray can throw the ball to. It's like a no-brainer for the Cardinals. I really would think. Unless for some reason, they're just in love with Marvin Harrison Jr. that much, they're going to not pick the phone up and. But I think that the Vikings can offer 2 first-round picks, but that may not be as enticing as the Giants pick 6, because the Cardinals could move back 2 spots, right? They can have their whatever sandwich and eat it too. Whatever you want to call it, right? They can move back 2 spots, pick up extra draft capital, and still get a stud wide receiver. They can't do that with the Vikings. So, I've got this here too. What we got? Giants desperate to move up for a quarterback in round 1. So, once again, you have no idea. Here's the same guy. Hopped on with Rich Eisen this afternoon, Sycamore, to discuss the 2 teams I believe are in the front runners for a trade up into the top 5 of quarterback, Vikings and the Giants. So, now the thing is, it would really, I think, Spies are losing, I enjoy going to the games. Well, that's true too. It's just, I'm like, Yeah. But I said to me, as I said, I spend time with my son when we go to the Cowboy games. So that means more to me, than anything. Especially once you start getting up in age, you spend some time with your family. That means a lot, especially to me. Especially we get to see a Cowboy game. So, but the thing is, like with the Giants, if the the Giants are just in love with one guy, their problem is right. Is they might have to wait, right? Are they in love with all four quarterbacks? Is that what they? I mean, they'll take Williams, May, Daniels, or McCarthy. I mean, they're in love with all four of them. They think all four. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's just according to those articles. Like it seems like the Giants are in love with one. So, I mean, if the Giants are in love with just one of the guys, I mean, that means that could not be in the Giants' favor because the Giants might have to wait until after pick 3 is over with to see who's still available on the board. Because just say they like Daniels or they like Caleb Williams, May, and Daniels. Just saying, right? They don't want McCarthy, right? They got to wait. They have to pick 3 is over. Because say Caleb Williams goes 1, May goes 2. Now on the board is 3, right? Patriots on the clock. Do they take Daniels? Do they take McCarthy? Do they trade? I don't know. We don't know. The Giants gotta wait because if the Patriots take Daniels, then the Giants don't want to jump up to number 4 and take McCarthy if they don't want to, right? But if the Patriots take McCarthy, now all of a sudden Daniel's available. Now the Giants got to call him and pick the phone up and can we make right? But if the Vikings are in love with, say McCarthy and Daniels, we'll take either one, right? So what they can do is if the Patriots, even the Patriots take a quarterback, regardless, the Vikings can call the Cardinals at number 4 and say, hey, you want to make a trade? They can call before the Giants do. You make a trade. We trade right now. We'll give you 11, 23, what else you want, right? So the Vikings can jump up before the Giants because if the Giants are waiting for one guy, they got to wait till after the first 3 picks are over. And after the first 3 picks are over, okay, our guy's still there. Let's pick the phone up and let's make the call. But it might be too late by then. If the Vikings are in love with a couple guys, right? They could just pick the phone up and maybe make the call to the Cardinals at 4 almost at any time. Because whoever falls at 4, the Vikings are going to want them, right? So they can maybe get the jump on the Giants. So I have to wait and see. Once again, a lot of this stuff could be just smoke. A lot of this stuff, so it's nice to talk about. Certainly gives you lots of stuff to talk about. Once again, it could be just all smoke and mirrors. Could be just, smoke screen. You don't know. You have no idea. But, I don't know. I'm kind of getting the feeling the Giants will just stay put and take a wide receiver at number 6 and get yourselves a dog of a wide receiver, right? Now you got your pretty much your receiving group, right? And then they can take a quarterback in the 2nd round, maybe the 3rd round. There's other like Milton, maybe a 3rd or 4th round or something like that, right? I mean, some of those guys might have some potential. Dable might see some potential. One of those guys, like he's like, this guy might be good. Let me work with him for a year or 2, and then maybe we might have something. So if he might take a quarterback in the 4th round. You don't know, but we'll have to wait and see. All right, guys, been 1 hour and 3 minutes. Ruben and Vinny G, man. Good talking to you guys. Thanks for the comments, man. Great having you aboard. Thank you. So whoever spent any time listening to me live, thank you. Or if anybody's going to spend any time watching the replay, this once again, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. It means the world to me. As always, you guys stay safe out there and go Giants. Woo! Oh, yeah.